Hey guys, it's Wendy Q at Pop Vegan. So I'm not sure what I was thinking, but as I was going to be traveling for work this week, I thought, why don't I just make my life a little more complex and go ahead and start a cycle of vegan keto diet. So this video is inspired by the difficulty in being on a vegan keto diet while you're traveling. Now, I have the luxury of traveling in my home state, so I was able to bring some things with me that you may not be able to take with you if you're traveling, say, on a plane. But as soon as your plane lands, you can hit the grocery store and pick up some of these items. You know, I literally had to run to the store and pick up all of this stuff because I wanted to have some things to show you. So I'm going to go through how I do it. Now keep in mind, when I do vegan keto, especially the first week, I am very strict. I adhere to my macros exactly, and I also count my calories, because when you're on a diet, you do still have to be mindful of how much food you're putting into your body. So on vegan keto, I typically will stick to about 1,500 calories a day. And I will tell you, as I get further along and I stop feeling so hungry, once I stop craving those carbs, some days it is a struggle to hit that 1,500 calorie mark. Maybe that's just me. I think everybody's different, so your experience may be different, but I'm going to show you what I plan to do for the next 5 days. So I've talked about this before. I have a video for a vegan smoothie, which is keto friendly. Now, when I'm traveling, I don't have the luxury of having my NutriBullet blender with me, so I have to make do with this shaker cup. And the reason it's making noise is because if I take off the lid, you can see inside is this very spacey looking wire mixer. And basically what that does is you pop it into the container, put your ingredients in, pop the lid on, and shake it up, and it mixes your ingredients pretty well. Now, what's different about this than, say, the NutriBullet blender is I can't pulverize walnuts and pumpkin seeds and some of the other things that I put in my smoothie. So I start off with things, so I package these for days. So I've packaged my ingredients of what I'm going to put in my smoothie. And as I said, this is slightly modified because when I'm on a keto diet, I'm very strict with my carbs. But this has, you can't really see it in here, but trust me, it's in here. This has a chocolate protein powder, chia seeds, ground flax, and hemp in it. And so this is really going to give me a kickstart on my protein for the day. And I'm also going to add into it this kind of, not super travel size, but a smaller bottle of olive oil, smaller compared to what I normally keep at home. I usually pick them up at Costco and get the 90-gallon drum of olive oil. But so this in the morning, this protein powder combined with, and I do bring some almond milk. You can use just plain water. If you like to use water in your smoothie, that's perfectly fine. But almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk, check the carbs. And I like this. I think it gives it a little bit more creamy of a flavor. And that's going to be my breakfast basically every day while I'm traveling. And along with that, I am going to be adding in a multivitamin. Now this multivitamin, it just happens to be one that I like. I'm not great at swallowing pills, so I get the gummies. This one happens to be vegan, and I will tell you, this one does have some carbs in it. It has, so there's 4 gummies in a serving, and it has 8 grams of carbs. So I'm already going to be getting some carbs even before I've started really eating for the day. But I think when you're doing vegan keto, and again, it's different for everybody, but I think when you're doing vegan keto, as opposed to a traditional keto, you can get away with a few more carbs. You have to kind of play it out and see what your body responds best to, but that's been my experience. And if having a few extra carbs in a multivitamin knocks me out of ketosis, then so be it. But because I do want to make sure that I get proper nutrition on a diet that is so restrictive. So the other thing that I do, and I do this just all the time when I'm traveling, is I bring my own water bottles. I use these, and I'll explain to you how I use these in just a moment. One is just going to be filled with plain water, and these are metal so they don't get that weird plasticky taste. But you know, if you stay in a hotel, depending on where you stay, they're probably going to have these waiting for you in your room. You know, it's up to you, but I've seen pictures of landfills with just millions of plastic bottles in it. And to me, I am fine just drinking tap water as long as it's ice cold. But I will drink tap water, and I don't feel like I really need this. And I don't like the taste. I can taste the plastic in the water. The other thing I do is I have, so this one I'm going to keep filled with water and carry it with me everywhere I go. This one is my gym bottle, also metal. And this one, the same as I do at home, I will fill it with a half of a Zip Fizz. And Zip Fizz, if you're not familiar with it, is, it says it is B12 Energy Hydration Multivitamin. It's a dietary supplement basically, and it does have some of the electrolytes that your body needs, which is important on vegan keto. This may not be enough for you on a keto diet, but let me get in there. So this flavor happens to be fruit punch. I also got orange soda. I don't know if it tastes like orange soda, and grape. So they come in a lot of different flavors. I just pick up a multi-pack on Amazon or at Costco, but I've seen on Amazon they have a wide variety of flavors. They do cost a little bit more than what you might get at Costco. So my gym bottle, I fill this up halfway with water, and then add half of a Zip Fizz, and the rest of the way with ice, and that will be my hydration during my workout. After my workout, I put the other half of the Zip Fizz in there, and it's only, you know, a couple of teaspoons in here, so you got to be really kind of watchful when you're pouring it in. But Zip Fizz, other half, add some more ice, and then I drink that while I'm getting ready to go in the morning. That's before I've even had anything to eat. So that's kind of where I start. So I start off my day. I work out every morning, so I start off my day. And the hotel I'm staying at does have a gym. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't need anything fancy. So we'll see how that goes. But after my workout, when I start feeling hungry, is when I'm gonna make my breakfast smoothie. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky when you're traveling, because you know, say you're traveling on a family vacation or something like that. If your hotel offers breakfast, or if you have a big group of people getting together, it's not uncommon for people to want to go out for breakfast. I still will stick to my shake, because there are precious very few little things. I can't even think of something that you can get for breakfast at a restaurant right now off the top of my head, but precious few vegan keto items that you can get for breakfast at a restaurant. So in my opinion, you're better off preparing it yourself in your hotel room or wherever you happen to be staying, and that way you can stay on your very strict vegan keto regimen. The other two meals, obviously lunch and dinner, I think it's a little bit easier to find things that you can eat, but it's going to be very, very limited. You're going to have your smartphone with you wherever you're at, so always check things in a keto app calculator. I use Carb Master. There's lots of really great ones out there. Find one for you. Trust me, that is going to be key to being successful on this diet. You really have to have something that will calculate those macronutrients for you and keep track of your calories. Remember, they're both important if you're doing keto for weight loss. You not only have to meet those macros in the right amount, but you also have to keep your body in a number of calories that is going to be less than what you exert if you're wanting to lose weight. I find on vegan keto, it's very easy to do that, especially if you exercise every day. So for lunches and for dinners, depending on where we go and what's available to me, I will typically stick with a simple green salad. Now, for some people that might sound like it's restrictive, but when you're traveling, it's pretty unlikely, although some people are in places of the world that have this more available, but it's typically pretty unlikely that you're gonna have much of the vegan keto foods available. But maybe you'll be somewhere that serves tofu over Brussels sprouts, or you can get a side of broccoli with something. Those things are very low in carbs and very nutrient dense, so do avail yourself to those foods when they are plentiful. So if you're at a restaurant, get that salad, get some greens on the side, check everything in your Carb Master, Carb Manager, Keto app. And make sure that you are sticking to your proportions throughout the day. It's really hard to do while traveling because there's so many opportunities to snack. But there are some vegan keto treats that I'll share with you in another video. But so you're getting those. We've already got breakfast out of the way. You're getting hopefully some nutrient dense greens for your lunch and for your dinner. But how are you going to be eating during the day when you're on the road traveling? Say you're in a conference all day and the afternoon snack is cookies and iced tea and lemonade. I've seen that hundreds of times when I've been at work-related conferences. They like to give you something sweet and sugary in the afternoon to help you push through that last leg of the conference where you're sitting in a room listening to lectures. So don't cave into that. I have prepared a variety of things that are going to keep me feeling satisfied and not hungry and provide me some measure of variety. Although again, vegan keto, you don't get a ton of variety, so you really do have to work at it to figure out how to make things fun and different. That's not what this is about. This is just going to be getting through this week. So some things that have been tried and true for me are these pre-made bars. Now, generally, I'm not a fan of anything that is processed a great deal. I try to reduce my use of it, with the exception of maybe protein powder and plant-based milks. I like whole foods whenever they are available. However, sometimes you do have to opt for convenience. So these bars is no cow, and they are vegan bars, and they have gosh, I have to do a little bit of math here. They have 25 total carbs in them, which is disturbing, but 18 of those carbs are dietary fibers, so you get to subtract those. So you really end up with 7 carbs. 4 of those carbs are sugar alcohol, so then you subtract that and you have 3 carbs in one of these, and the protein is 22 grams. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think these taste great. I really don't. But when you're hungry and you have a little bit of a sweet craving, a chocolate fudge brownie bar, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Or maybe peanut butter chocolate chip. That also sounds really good. The other flavor, lemon meringue pie bar. I'll try to get that in there. Maybe, there we go, lemon meringue pie bar. So, depending on what you like, I recommend trying them all. Some people think that they're not bad. I actually think they taste kind of awful, but that's just me. So, and I when I was looking to grab some bars like this at the store, first, there are a lot of bars that are vegan, but you do have to check the label because they almost all have added sugar, or they have some sort of fruit syrup or something in them. Even my very most favorite Laura bars are very high in sugars because the base of those bars is usually dates, which are very sweet, which is why they use them. But so I was looking, I must have looked at 50 different kinds of protein bars, and I found some that I've not tried before They are called Raw Rev Glo. I don't know how well you can see these there, kinda. This one is a creamy peanut butter and sea salt, 15 grams of protein, and then when I look at the carbs, again, you have to check these. 17 grams of carbs, but 14 grams of those carbs are fiber, so you're ending up with 3 grams of carbs in one of these. And this, I mean, you might consider these a treat, you might consider these a snack, whatever it is that's going to get you through the day and make you successful on keto, call it whatever you want. The other thing, now normally I don't buy these, but for the purposes of showing you, which I had every intention of doing, for the purposes of showing you on this video, I bought some of these single-use peanut butter packs. Now, if I wasn't doing a video, I would have probably just brought a jar of peanut butter and a spoon. Actually, I probably wouldn't have done peanut butter at all. I would have done some other kind of butter. However, and this is actually, I'm sorry, this is almond butter. So I picked this one because it only has 2 ingredients, roasted almonds and palm fruit oil. Now, we're not big fans of palm oil, but I thought, just to try them for this week, I'll give them a shot. I don't have to love them. I may not love them, but these were the only ones that I found that didn't have any added salt or any added sugar or any added flavors. And believe me, these things must be making somebody a fortune because they had them in flavors of chocolate, of caramel sea salt, and I think I might have seen a birthday cake flavor or something. That might have been one of the bars. But anyways, so this is what I'm going to try this week. This brand is Barney Butter and made in the USA. I mean, I don't really know what more I could tell you about it. I think there's about a tablespoon in each of these. So this is like, if you just need a little something to tide you over, get you to that next meal time, this may be a good thing. Or, a late evening snack before you go to bed if you're feeling hungry. Now, typically, I do not rely on bars. I just grab those for convenience because I wanted to give you some options. What I prefer to do, quite honestly, is bring my own little baggie of mixed nuts and seeds. And these are keto-friendly nuts and seeds that are in here. I have some almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds, and I have them in the right ratios that work for me on my calories. And I have them, as you can see, already pre-packaged. The other thing that I make sure that I have a lot of is almonds. Now, this is not 1 serving of almonds. This is if I really don't like any of the protein bars and I need a little snack. And these are actually salted almonds, and when you're doing vegan keto, you should be adding extra salt into your diet for a couple of reasons. Particularly if you exercise, it will help with cramps that you may experience as you progress through the keto cycle. But so these are just something that I'll have on hand to help my body hold on to water. The reason, in my case, why I get cramps when I exercise on vegan keto is because your body flushes out so much water in the keto cycle. You do need to have some salt in there to help your body hold on to it. And on a vegan diet, we don't get a lot of salt, do we? No, we don't. So, and then we talked about treats before. This is my treat. This is something special. If I have enough carbs left over at the end of the day, this is where I'm going to spend them. These are roasted salted cashews. For some reason, to me, the ones that I get at Costco taste absolutely the best. So for me, this is going to be my treat. If I have enough carbs left over. So this gives me something to sort of have my sights set on throughout the day. One of the things I think with keto, any diet, not just keto and not just vegan keto, any diet, you find that you are so focused on food all the time. You wake up, thinking about what am I going to eat? How am I going to lose weight today? Am I going to lose weight this week? Is it, whatever the reasons that you're doing it for, it may not be weight loss, but you get so focused on food. And that is why having the keto app is really great because you can see at a glance where you're at for the day, and you can kind of play with different foods in the app, try it out, and see what results you will have. You know, do I need to add a tablespoon of olive oil or coconut oil or avocado oil or whatever kind of oil you like? I like olive oil, but do I need to add that to my food? Do I need to have an extra protein shake? Do I need to do something like that? Do I have extra carbs left over? If so, what are you going to spend them on? Cashews. This also has protein and fat in it, but they on the list of keto seeds and nuts you can get, this really isn't one of the better ones. Almonds and walnuts are much better. You can also have a little teensy bits of fruit on a vegan keto diet, and maybe that's something you want to add into your smoothie, like, you know, a few blueberries or some raspberries, or maybe you want to save them and just eat them on their own. You know, you have to kind of play around and figure out how this kind of restrictive diet that sort of takes over your brain when you first start it, you know, how you're going to make it work for you. You know yourself, you know what your weaknesses are, you know what your sensitive food challenges are. So set yourself up for success. Do what you know will work best for you. So I am sharing this with you. This is something that I happen to know does work best for me. This may not be the best plan for you. You may not like doing a protein shake every day. Maybe you'd rather do it at night, or maybe you'd rather not do it at all and add more hemp seeds into your diet, or something else that has a lot of protein in it, such as tofu or edamame or something like that. It's totally up to you. This is just something that works for me. I know that I can be successful this week with these items and supplementing my diet, as I'm going to be eating out at least twice a day. I'll be supplementing my diet with as much dense leafy green, low carb vegetables as I can get my hands on. And if I'm struggling to find restaurants, you know what? I'm gonna just hit a grocery store, buy me some spinach and maybe a little bit of vinegar, and I will make a spinach salad, grab some strawberries, drizzle it with a little bit of my olive oil, and call it good, because you really do have to think outside of what you're used to thinking when you're on a vegan keto diet, because this is really against everything we know, right? We always I talked about it in a previous video, you know, the food pyramid. We always thought we had to get, you know, 6 to 9 servings of grains per day, and maybe that's not the case. But at any rate, I thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to get some tips for traveling on a vegan keto diet. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. But better yet, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the bell, because you'll be notified every single time I post a new video. And while we're talking about posting new videos, if there's a topic that you would like me to cover in the vegan or vegan keto realm, I am happy to do so. I think for all of us who are new to it, I'm not new to it now, but I still consider it a journey that I'm going on. I learn new things all the time. I learn better ways of doing things, and you know, it's a lifestyle that just makes me feel better about some of the choices that I make, and I'm grateful that I do have the opportunity to make those choices. So I'm getting a little deep there. Okay, it's just food, you guys. It's just food. Okay. All right. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.